Today, we are going to talk about bionic technology. And we are actually very fortunate because we live in amazing times. Amazing times where, through technology, we are able to transfer lives of disabled and basically make them or re-enabling them. And I'm very proud to be standing here actually talking about this because this is something we are going to share with you first time live outside of US and Europe. So it's particularly big honor to be here today. So if I click here forward, there's nothing happening. Let's see. Yeah, technology can re-enabling TEDx.
It happened to Steve Jobs once in a presentation.
Exactly.
If we could move the presentation on manually, that would be good.
That'll be great. Perfect. So, well, I'm going to just continue talking. Through technology, I personally been able to see transformation of people, primarily if you look at amputees, like a good friend of mine, Oscar Pistorius, who is from South Africa. He's a double amputee. And simply with bionic technology, he has been able not only to run in Paralympics, but he is here. He is also now breaking into the Olympic Games. What's amazing about him is that a few years ago, he was actually accused of having an unfair advantage. Can you imagine? Double amputee. But now that ban has been lifted, and he is going for the Olympic Games in London. He is, however, not at all the typical amputee. Most of them are in the 60s, 70s, and they enjoy amazing technologies. Technologies like this gentleman here has. These are probably $50,000 bionic devices that he is working on. So we have seen this amazing transformation in the field, but primarily for amputees. For Othman here, who happens to live in Oman, it isn't as rosy. This bionic technology has not transferred over to helping people in wheelchairs, like Othman, who is spinal cord injured after a road accident, to stand up and walk again. Why is it that spinal cord injured that are, on average, they are in their 20s, 30s usually when they get the injury. They're not in the 60s, 70s when that happens. They get the answer, with the question, can you walk again? They get the answer no. And the only solution they have is the wheelchair. And this, a device called orthotic device, that pretty much has stayed the same for 40 years. And we are not talking about few individuals. We are talking about 70 million people around the world that pretty much the only mobility tool they have is the wheelchair. Why is that? When we have seen technology transfer from horse and the buggy over to cars, or we have seen the simple bicycle transfer over to motorcycles. Why is it that we have seen these technologies move forward when 70 million people are depending on that we take this very simple device, add some of the technologies that we have to it, and empower them to walk we all learn to walk before we learn to talk. It's pretty basic need. But still, we can't solve this. Just doesn't make sense. So, we are determined to change this into a yes. And how are we going to do that? We are going to do that with bionic technology. Technology that are pretty much wearable robots that you put on and you wear during the day. It gives you more strength and endurance. And bionic suits, we like to sometimes call it. It's almost like something you will probably see hanging in people's closets in the future. But what this reminds us today is basically the Iron Man, like we talked about before. And we think this must be a dream. This is just in the movies. Who is doing this? Is somebody doing this today? I'm pleased to say that we are. We are taking this technology, and so far we have been working with the military in US for the last 10 years in conceptualizing this technology to help soldiers to carry more weight on their back. And also to help them to reduce the likelihood of back injuries. So this has been transforming, and now we are looking more and more at how we can take this technology and help people in wheelchairs to walk. But it's a little bit different to take a person, the most able person you can think about, the soldiers, take that technology, and now let's use it for people in wheelchairs. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to let people stand up, walk, control it? People who maybe haven't even been walking for 20 years. How are we going to make it safe in people's houses when they take it with them home? People who just don't have any feelings in the legs. So this is a little bit of a challenge. I'm pleased to say that we believe we have solved this. And I actually happen to have one here with me today. And I'm very excited about showing this for the first time here in Oman. We have it here. And we like to call it Ekso. That's Ekso. And now I think it's a perfect opportunity to add Othman to the picture. So Othman, have you on stage? Hello, Othman. How are you? Good. So let's do this. As you are getting into Ekso, I am actually going to use the time to explain a little bit the technology. So we have a couple of slides that we want to bring up here. First of all, the way the device actually will work or works or walks, it uses 4 motors. And those four motors are simply sitting at the hips and the knees. And they are electric in nature. They're not hydraulic. The hydraulic technology is used for soldiers, where we need it a little bit stronger. Then it uses 15 sensors that pretty much senses where you are in space. And so it's highly complicated. It has a computer on the back. That's why we have this backpack here. It's sitting here in between, and then there are actually two batteries that last for 3 hours, sitting on both sides. It's actually used in the beginning in rehabilitation, and that's what this device is actually designed for. So in terms of how you control it, we use actually this remote control, and that is used in the beginning in rehabilitation because you are working obviously with a physical therapist. So it's very important that we have somebody that actually walks behind Othman, and that's how you are going to see the device demonstrated today. In a few months, we are going to be introducing what we call auto step, and that is actually will allow Othman to walk completely by himself using sensors that simply mimic his motions and weight, something we are introducing in July. And and in terms of how this is used in rehabilitation, it's adjustable in height and width to different, because there are obviously people going through this every hour, people of different height and width. If you could get some of the slides up here again, that would be great. There you go. You can weigh up to about 100 kilograms. Where we are with this technology right now is that we are introducing it into rehabilitation centers, and we introduced it first in October 2010. We started shipping in 2012 now in February, and so far we have about 10 centers that are up and walking literally with us. So if you go to the next slide, you will see actually the picture of where we are. We have primarily been in US, and this shows a little bit the journey so far. This
amazing medical breakthrough.
An evolving technology is giving hope to patients that have been paralyzed.
A company in Berkeley, California, making what is called a bionic exoskeleton, giving hope to people confined to a wheelchair.
The opportunity to be one of the charter members studying the e-legs is really very important, especially for the field, to really move it forward.
Extremely excited about the new technology that actually offers them promise for the future and more function in the community.
From a research perspective, from the Kessler Foundation's perspective, I think there are a number of different questions that we can ask.
I was thinking maybe I was going to feel like a bag of bones once I stood up. The unit just kicked in and I stood right up, and it was one of the most unbelievable feelings I've ever had.
It was great to be moving forward again on my own. It's an amazing piece of technology that, you know, all of a sudden takes someone who can't move their legs and, you know, helps them move them.
And to see myself in the mirror actually taking the steps, the expression on my face was like, I'm doing this. I'm actually walking.
So Othman, are you, maybe we should okay.
صار الحادث طبعا حادث سير 18/7/2010. تدهور وصارت إصابة في الظهر. وبعدها كل واحد يعني يتمنى يوقف على هذا الجهاز أو غيره ويكون نفس حالته أنا.
Okay. Thank you very much. So Othman, are you ready to walk? Shall we do this? Let's do this. That's amazing. I never get enough of this. Let's get up the next slide, which shows actually, I mean, Othman, what is so amazing about what he's doing right now is that he has only been doing this for 2 days. And we came here on Saturday. We met with Othman on Sunday. And these pictures actually that you see up here are from one of the first sessions that he had on, I think on Sunday or Monday. And so I think he deserves another applause for that. So you're going to help a little bit? Okay, let's give this a go. What I would like to understand, Othman, is when you watch these pictures, what kind of feeling was this to be able to walk after all this time?
والله أول مرة ما جربت هالجهاز وأنا نفسي واحد واقف سنتين وكذا ما وقف يشعر بإحساس يعني ما يوصف بأمانة. وهذا الجهاز أنا حسيته أحسن عن كل الأجهزة لأنه يساعدك تمشي كأي إنسان عادي.
And the second question I think many will be asking is now the plan, obviously, this is a journey. And we are just introducing this into rehab centers right now. And by the way, this is the first time we are actually demonstrating this outside of Europe and US, which is very exciting. But the goal is to have a personal device available for someone like you to have in your home in 2 years from now. What would you use Ekso for? Well, how do you see that?
والله بستخدمها بشكل يومي ما دام كذا يعني
بشكل طبيعي كإنسان طبيعي.
أيوة طبعا كأي واحد أنا وغيره نفس حالتي ما يحب يكون 24 ساعة على كرسي وعلى كرفاية. والله كل أنشطة مش مشكلة يعني مثلا لما تريد تخرج مع ربعك تمشي عليها أو سيارة إذا قدرت يعني وفي كل مكان.
Okay. I want to thank you, Othman, a lot for having the courage to do this from Saturday onwards, be here on stage with us. So Applause for you. Thank you. Thanks. Great job. And I just want to thank you and for the organizers for allowing us to come here and share Ekso with you for the first time outside of US and Europe. A technology that hopefully can impact life of around 70 million people in the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Eythor.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And I think a lot of people lost the message as there was no translation there of what Othman was saying. But I think one of the messages that, one of the ideas that comes to my mind is one small step for Othman, one big step for mankind. And Othman could obviously feel a huge change in his life from being able to take the first couple of steps. You know, he was saying that he would use it for everything. I mean, he cannot see where he can't use it, and obviously the possibilities that this would bring to his life. So we appreciate that. And I think it's amazing how, sort of, in a way, kind of, how simply you present this, Eythor, but how complex this really is. I mean, there's a lot of technology involved, a lot of bright minds obviously gone into developing these technologies.
Yeah, I'm only a front end here of a big team of people back in Berkeley in California where this technology is from. We have about 80 people, 40 engineers that are working on this, about 8 PhDs. So there's a lot of brain power that has gone into this for the last 10 years. So I'm just here representing that team and the work that has been done. So I want to again thank you for that opportunity.
Not at all. Could you make me strong enough to beat Dr. Abdullah in a cage fight?
Well, you can work on that.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll give you my business card afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And your wallet as well. Thank you.